What's going on, guys? Coming at you from the world famous Stub Cycles in beautiful Houston, Texas, and look what I get to bring to you today. That is the Honda CBR 650R with the e-clutch option. Very cool technology on this machine. You don't have to use the clutch, but it's got one if you want it. Haven't had a chance to ride a motorcycle with this technology before, so this is going to be a first. So let's get rolling with this thing. What a good looking bike too. Great looking TFT screen. Now, before I get started, yes, you have a clutch and you have a gear selector. So it's not an automatic. You still have to shift the gears. But the way that this system works, well, let me just show you without trying to explain it. So this little light here, it says A, automatic. So what we're going to do is we're going to fire it up. Okay, so just like a normal motorcycle, right? Watch this. I'm going to put it in gear. We're in gear. How crazy is that? So all of the clutch action is being managed by that device down here. So a little bit of throttle input and we're going to get moving. Now, if you want to use the clutch, you certainly can. You just pull it in. But you don't have to. You put it in neutral, goes back to automatic. You put it in gear and it's in gear, but you're not touching the clutch. This is so weird. Okay, guys, let's take this machine out for a quick cruise. See what it's like. Oh, that is so wild. Very intuitive. Nice quick shifter action. Guys, before I get too deep into this, I'm going to send a huge thank you and shout out to the crew over at Stub Cycles for allowing me the opportunity to bring this bike to you. Oh, I'm grabbing the clutch just out of habit. But it'll go back into automatic mode once you slow down. So we're in automatic mode again. Let's give her a go. Well, this 650 is punchy. Quick little bike, gets to highway speeds nice and easy. So it feels just like a normal sport bike to ride. Now, this motorcycle is making about 100 horsepower, just shy of that at the flywheel. It doesn't have any of the adjustable suspension except for preload in the back. The Showa forks, though, are doing a great job of soaking up some of the bumps on this part of the highway. This is nice. The engine itself at highway speeds feels like it's got plenty of punch, plenty of power on reserve, just rolling into the throttle. Yeah, this thing is punchy. Feels like a sport bike should, to be honest. You can see that speedometer. It's collecting mile an hour pretty quickly. Downshift. Oh, so silky. So to put it in perspective, it feels like a very refined quick shifter. I guess that's the best way that I can describe this sensation. If you could imagine a quick shifter that is just seamless and has the same type of action, that same crisp action as the regular non-assisted, non-quick shift linkage, that's what this bike feels like. Absolutely scoot up here on the highway. So this is a real unique type of a system, allowing you the ability to use a clutch if you need it, but you absolutely don't have to use the clutch to ride this machine. That's going to take a little bit of getting used to for folks. If you're used to riding a motorcycle, you're more experienced. At first it's kind of weird, but once you use it a couple of times, I think you're going to be pretty impressed with it. The ability to not have to pull in that clutch, especially if you were to be stuck in traffic, that's a pretty unique feature in and of itself. Certainly would cut down on some rider fatigue. I'm going to go ahead and exit here. Yeah, that downshift is real smooth, very crisp. I'm grabbing the clutch like normal. You come to a stop. And again, if you find yourself in this situation, you just click it up into neutral and you can feel the clutch become disengaged from the system. It gets kind of floppy over there. That's just letting you know that you have removed the clutch from the chat, so to speak. Okay, I got to remind myself to stay away from the clutch lever. Liking this TFT screen. And again, this isn't really a tutorial on this bike. This is just a first riding impressions of it. I got to tell you, this is really nice. There we go. It's a punchy bike, guys. But that system is very intuitive, very, well, there's nothing that you wouldn't expect from it. Better than I think I thought it was going to be. Especially at low speeds. Very reminiscent of the DCT transmission that Honda offers in many of their motorcycles. The Rebel 1100, the Africa Twin are just the first two that come to mind. This CBR 650 is plenty punchy. For someone that would be looking for a more sporty ride into the office, something that you can have fun on B&C roads, you're just getting into sport bikes maybe, you're coming from a bike with say 40-50 horsepower, you're looking for a sport bike, but you don't want to commit to a super sport bike like a GSXR 600 or a CBR 600. You're looking for something that's a little bit more rider friendly, a little bit more user friendly, less cutting edge when it comes to performance, but yet still offers a great handling experience and still is very much a sport bike. This might be the right bike for you guys. And even with the e-clutch option, it's less than $10,000 sticker. So, less expensive. You get most of the sporting experience that you would get out of a super sport, especially for highway commuting and, you know, just spirited jaunts around your favorite back roads. You get most of, if not all of that, for quite a bit less money. Plus, if you're going to use it as a commuter, you get the option to have an automatic clutch. That's pretty cool. This is really good. Again, the way that the bike feels to shift, I'm trying to put this into context. It's the way that you would hope that a quick shifter would be. Challenger sounded pretty good. This is so cool to be able to experience this for the first time, bring you guys my experience, and especially coming from, yeah, that quick shifter, or I should say that e-clutch downshift is really, really solid, really good. Oh, that's so weird. So again, I keep grabbing the clutch, but as you're coming to a stop, you can feel it disconnect. So as you can see, just kind of flops around down there. This is such a neat experience. It's really good at slow speeds. Not jerky at all, very smooth. And it feels the exact same as if you were modulating the clutch yourself. Let's keep this going. Having quite a bit of fun with this bike. Again, I have to keep reminding myself not to grab that clutch. This is such a unique experience, and if you haven't had an opportunity to ride a bike that employs this type of technology, you gotta try it out. You absolutely have to. This is such, I mean, on downshifts, that is so cool. Even at low RPM shifts, this is so familiar in that the feel is just what you would expect if you were doing all the shifting yourself. Just below 4,000 RPM, grabbing a gear, very smooth. It's as good or better than any quick shifter that you may have experienced before. I think that's the best way that I can describe it. Oh, that's nice. So especially if you're coming into motorcycling, you've been with a lower power bike, you're wanting something that's going to be a little bit punchier, something that's going to be a little bit more exciting to ride. You don't want to break the bank, and you want something that's going to be able to be a comfortable, fun cruiser into the office every morning. This would be great for that. Very spirited, very just a fun, sporty bike to ride. So here we are back at Stubbs. Well, wait, before I do this, let's go back over to the back part of the lot. Oh, we're in automatic mode. Taking a little bit of time to get used to that, I guess. Let's go see how it does around the back lot with some slow speed maneuvering. Now, I had done this with the DCT, and I can't help but compare the two systems. So let's see how it does. And I'm just putting it around back over here, applying a little bit of back brake. Not quite an automatic, but still very smooth nonetheless. Let's see if we can creep it down a little bit lower. There we go. God, it's still really good, guys. If you had a passenger or something like that, you wouldn't have any issues with this at all. Not darty, not grabby. That's really good. You do, this is so weird. So I think for me, this is a really cool system, no doubt about it. It will take a little bit of getting used to, but once you get used to it, I think that it is going to be very intuitive. The cool thing about it is that you can still use it as a clutch. Look at that bike. That is just a good looking classic Honda racing livery on the CBR 650. Guys, thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. My first ride on an e-clutch bike, pretty cool. Definitely takes some getting used to, but if you've never tried it, you gotta give it a go. Come out here to Stubbs Cycles, grab one of these bikes and see what you think. And with that, we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for stopping by.